welcome to episode 18 of All Aboard, a show where I talk about board games, about the channel, about myself, and you listen and comment below if you want to talk about anything I have said during these 15 minutes of rambling and talking and whatever. So welcome everybody. Welcome to this episode. Let's get started with saying which games I've played last week. A very slow week game-wise. The European Championship football started, and yes, I am a football fan from the couch. I play soccer myself, football or soccer for you guys who cannot choose how to call it. I play indoor football, indoor soccer myself. I played since I was 6 so I've been playing soccer for a long time, and so I like to watch it as well, especially when there's a big tournament. So a lot of my evenings I was focused on the television to see how the countries were doing. Okay, so what did I play? Well, it was yesterday only that I played a couple of games in my club. We played Isle of Skye for the first time, and it's a tile-laying game, a little bit influenced by Carcassonne, I think, but you have some kind of bidding mechanic or buying mechanic where each player draws 3 tiles and puts it in front of their screen, and behind their screen they're going to put a price on 2 of those tiles, and one they choose that will be out of the game, it will be destroyed. It's not a legacy game. And well, when all players reveal, players can buy one of their opponent's tiles for the price that they have set. If you don't buy any of those tiles at the end of the round, well, the other players get to buy their own tile, but they have to pay the price they put on it themselves. In the meanwhile, it plays over 6 rounds. After each round there's a different way of scoring your isle at that moment, so it's very interesting. Lots of replayability, I think, because of the different goals. They change a lot. We did make a few mistakes. We had the Dutch version, and there was there wasn't a mistake in the rules, but it wasn't always that very clear. After that we played a game of Quadropolis, of Days of Wonder. I've played it a few times already now. I really enjoy it. It goes really fast, really fluent. But for some reason there were some things we were doubting about in the rules wise. So we checked it, and the rules weren't that clear. The English rules weren't that clear. So we took the French rules. I think it's a French game, and we looked it there. Yeah, we speak a little bit French here, and well, they were wrong. So there were 3 mistakes in the rule book, and one of them was a really game-changing mistake. So if you have played this game, you know you can build the flats, you can build them upwards in a tower, and the English rules say you have to use an architect with the same number as the floor you're going to make. But the French rules say the same, but also you can choose also to just take another number of the right row or column that you want to build upwards in. Very important, because otherwise the flat building tactics or strategy is hard to do. I did win somehow, so that was cool. It was very close. And last we played a game of Skulls. The game, it's also a kind of bluffing game, push your luck game, with these round coasters. Each player has 4 coasters. One of them has a skull. You put them face down, one of them at the beginning of a round, and you can, well, there are some rules that you have to bid how many you're going to turn around without finding a skull. Very simple, but really fun, really fast game. It was my 2nd time that I played it. I'm looking for my first win in that game. Okay, well, that was what I played. Not a lot, I know, but I did do some buying. Yes, that's what I did. So, what is new into the collection? First of all, well, a new expansion for one of my favorite games. The game Imperial Settlers, and here is the new expansion, the small expansion again. This time 3 is a magic number, and well, this introduces, well, the 3. 3 is a magic number. It is regarding the, well, some cards in there who will give you points when you have sets of 3 of the same color. As you might remember, some cards, well, the cards in Imperial Settlers, they also have a colored border, and that wasn't really important. There were a few cards that interacted with the color, but now there are more things to interact with. It comes with extra cards for each faction, including the Atlanteans, and new cards also for the solo game. So, well, really nice package again. So really looking forward to it, to play with those new cards. Talking about Imperial Settlers, this weekend will be PortalCon. It's the convention of Portal games themselves in Poland. I had been there last year. Sadly enough, I couldn't get a day off or the weekend off from work, so I won't be attending this year. I'm really sad about that. I really wanted to go. And now I'm even more sad because Ignacy Cevicek, he announced that he will announce he will announce the new faction, the 6th faction for Imperial Settlers this coming weekend. I cannot wait. I really am curious. I know I do demos for them and some proofreading and whatever for them, but I have no clue what the new faction is gonna be, so I'm as curious as you are. Okay, next, a new game into the collection, the Vitruvian collection. A game in which you are playing in teams of 2 players and you are racing this crazy race in cards. It's not Mario Kart, no, but it might have well been the board game Mario Kart. It is Crazy Cards. Again, also same publisher, Portal Games, designed by Charles Amir Perret. And well, in this game, each team of 2 players will have a card and will have a screen in front. Each player will have a screen in front of them and with a board with their actions. Now, the funny thing about this one is each player of a team has different actions that he or she is responsible for. The one is responsible for accelerating and turning, maybe. The other one is responsible for braking and shooting. One chooses the initiative to see who goes first of the teams. It's just crazy stuff. The one player can repair, the other, crazy shizzle. I haven't played it yet. I have seen a gameplay. You should check it out. The game, the video where Ignacy and his team play this game. It's just crazy like hell. So I will show you the back just a little. So as you can see, these are the player boards. So each player has a different board, each player of a team, and there they will put the cards that will activate the actions. And you have these kinds of tiles here. That's the race track that there is with all these obstacles which do special things, damage you or give you bonuses or whatever. It is really cool. The artwork is really funny and I'm looking forward. It's not that easy for me to get to 6 players, which apparently is the sweet spot for this game, but I hope to try it out very soon, because also I have to demo it in the future, so I want to know how it works. Last but not least, of course, is a game which I already own, like this. But if you put this into the washing machine for too long or in too hot temperatures, it goes like this. Yes. Castles of Burgundy, the cards game, or die Burgen von Burgund. Das Kartenspiel zum Strategie-Klassiker. Yes, this is a card game based on the Stefan Feld's Castles of Burgundy. And I haven't played it yet. I've seen a small playthrough of it. I've read the rules a few times now. It is really similar to the board game. It seems like it takes quite a bit of table space as well with all the cards. But still, I'm very excited to try this out. And the most important thing is here in German. So, mit spannender Solo Variante. It's with an exciting solo variant. Oh, man, I do solo playthroughs. Interesting? I think so, yes. Yeah, I will do a playthrough of this one of these days. I'm waiting for the game, and now I'm talking about the future already, for the game I was going to do a preview for, waiting for it. It should be in the mail, so it should be on its way to me. I guess the game that I will be previewing will be on Kickstarter pretty soon as well, so I'll have to hurry. I hope it arrives soon and I get the time to play it before I will show it to you in all its prototype glory. Okay, now, as you know, each week I have some kind of subject to talk about. This week I'm going to talk about Kickstarter. And before I talk about the subject Kickstarter, let me first tell you a little bit about this Kickstarter here, Clash d'Ardèche. They sent me an email with their press release that they were going to do this on Kickstarter. It is a worker placement game, or if I'm not mistaken, I'm just saying anything that comes into my head. So let's see if I'm right. At least it is a strategic Euro game. It's a Euro game. I'm not sure it's worker placement for 2 to 4 players. Each player has this camping ground that they want to grow, and of course they want to have the most people visiting them. And they have all these things that they can do. They can build facilities, air radio commercials. They can even bribe the mayor. So it looks like there is some interaction between players. Why am I promoting this? Well, it's from a Dutch designer, and that doesn't happen too much, so I thought I would put this in the spotlight. They didn't pay me, they didn't even ask me to do so. I just said I would mention it here on All Aboard. Okay, now Kickstarter. Why do I want to talk about Kickstarter? Well, because I have spent a lot of money last 2 weeks on Kickstarter. Man, really a lot of money, but it's for the good cause, yeah. So it had been a while since I've done Kickstarter. There are still a few projects that I backed and that I'm waiting for. Pursuit of Happiness, I already have the normal version, the limited print run, but there is more that they did on the Kickstarter afterwards. I'm waiting for Apocrypha, the adventure card game. And I'm waiting for Fog of Love, which will be here next year, February normally, so that's a long time to go, but that's when I backed. But it has been a while since the last one I backed, and now I backed 2 big ones, so I never spent that much money on Kickstarter, especially one of 2 of them was pretty expensive. So what did I back? I backed This War of Mine. This is a Polish game, well, it will be in English when it is released, of course, in which you try to survive in this war zone in that house. It is a conversion from a video game to a board game. There's a lot going on. They reached a zillion stretch goals. It looked and it looks awesome. The idea is great. It can be played solo, and well, that's all good for me. That's what I need. That's what this channel needs. So I backed that. But after that, I backed Darkest Night 2nd edition. Now this was a game. The first edition, I had my eye on it for a long time. I thought it was a little bit expensive. It didn't look too beautiful, and now they have this 2nd edition, which looks amazing. I decided to take the miniatures as well with it, so it looks even more amazing. And then suddenly they came with the idea of the opportunity to get Nemo's War as an add-on to it. So, long story short, I spent around $215 on that Kickstarter, plus one of $100 on the This War of Mine Kickstarter. So I spent a lot of money, but it's for the good cause. They're all games that I can do here on the channel, so I will do that next year when they arrive. I have no clue when. February. It's all in February, but as you know, Kickstarters can take longer. Now, this was the first time that I spent that amount of money on a Kickstarter, I must admit, and it was not easy to do. I have been doubting for a long time. Actually, I backed Darkest Night, I think 2 hours before it ended, just because I was doubting to spend that kind of money. But in the end, I did. Now, my question for you. How often do you back things on Kickstarter? Have you ever backed on Kickstarter? Do you even know what Kickstarter is? Might be that you have never heard of it. What is the highest price you ever paid for a game on Kickstarter that you had to wait for? How long have you waited for a game to come that has been kickstarted? I heard some bad stories about that. I have been lucky so far. And well, yeah, how many things did you back on Kickstarter? And do you think it's a good thing to do Kickstarter? If you would design a game, would you choose Kickstarter? Or would you rather go to publishers? Let me know in the comments what you think about this. How crazy have I been spending that much of money? Or impress me with the numbers that you have already put down for a game that you didn't even get immediately. So let me know in the comments. I thank you for watching this episode of All Aboard. By the way, very important, this week, one of these days, pretty soon, there will be a top 10 on this channel. It is the first time that I do a top 10, I think. I'm not sure. I believe I never did that. I did a top 50 of all time, as I did twice now at the end of the year or the beginning of the year. I do this top X number of games, depending on how much I played. And now I do a top 10 of my gateway games. So if you are interested in seeing which games that I use to find or to attract new non-board gamers into the hobby, you have to watch that video. It will be online pretty soon. So thanks again for watching this video. I'll see you all in the future. Bye bye.